Give it a second. Give it a second. All right. We are live. All right. Hold on. Let me bring myself back.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, I'm gonna send it back to you. You ready?
I think.
I'm sending the host back to you, A.
I gotta walk with my I gotta wear my big boy
and
browsers.
We are live, all the way live.
Gotta wear my big boy shorts.
In there, dude.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking for it right now, so I can just share the link. Boy. Okay, and I don't see it though. Boy, is it? We there? Boy, can you?
We definitely are live. You know what? Try something.
Yeah.
Look to see it. Is it under mine? Look to see if it's under Roselle.
Yeah, it's under yours. It's under Roselle. If you launched it.
Oh, okay. Well, so is it? Well, people.
You know what? Just run it for now. Just run it.
But then the guest is on the wrong station. Is he? I guess. Yeah, whatever, man.
No, if you send him the link, he's gonna come on the right station because he's going to you.
He's right here with us. Hi, sir. Hey, how you doing, sir?
Wait, am I sir?
Yeah.
Is that me?
Yeah. How you doing, boss? How you doing, boss?
All right, how are you?
Hey, what's up? Man, thank you for being here with us tonight. And we are just going live right now, and it's cool to have you. Thank you for being a guest with us this evening for our podcast. This is our podcast. We've been doing it for like 8 years from the Bay Area, and super excited to have you, sir. Thank you for being with us.
It's my pleasure.
Are you going to be ready? I told you.
So. From heads up, where are you actually calling from right now?
I'm in Seoul, South Korea.
South Korea. Wow. Gosh, that's what's the time difference like over there right now?
It's 1:10 p.m. right now.
Wow. On what day?
Sunday.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us. Well, okay, so makes no sense to not just start the party off. I mean, I got this intro. I can go ahead and give it to you, and we can get this officially started. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a really cool podcast that we call Dukksoop the Shizzo, and we are blessed to have another amazing show and amazing guest. So check this out as we get ready to rock on and enjoy this show. Bam. Anytime today.
We're happy to have you with us this evening and want you to enjoy every minute of your stay here.
With that, let the game begin.
강쌤이야! Thank you for playing with me.
Player 240 eliminated.
It doesn't matter what game it is. I trust my gut.
God damn it. Just tell us about the next game.
For your weed delivery services and medical marijuana information, please contact amentadelivery.com. Tell them Dukksoop sent you.
You know, if you would have told me years like this time, months ago, when I first saw Squid Games, I would be interviewing not one but two of the actors from Squid Games. I would not believe it. Like, this is so cool. This is so cool.
I have to correct you. I'm sorry, but the obviously you already talked to Jeffrey, and so the guy who's talking to the guy, getting the wine, that's Jeffrey.
Yes.
But then you had a picture of VIP 2, who is the guy with the horns. I'm VIP 1, the guy with the lion mask.
Jesus. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, sir. Please don't be offended.
It's okay. That has actually been like that has happened repeatedly over and over and over again throughout this whole experience. So
I don't feel too bad. Thank you. You held my hand right there. Well, so
that happened on TMZ. The guy thought I was Jeffrey.
Oh,
and he asked me this question about like how it felt to have my balls grabbed. And I was like, bro, I didn't have my balls grabbed.
I didn't get my balls grabbed.
It was like 40 minutes into the interview. He said that he thought I was Jeffrey the whole time. So
you being an actor that apparently does a lot of work, because I've seen a couple projects with you in it, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Have you been watching Korean dramas or movies?
Yeah.
Well, I'll just list off some of the ones I'm in, and you tell me if you've seen them. I was most recently I was in one called The Spies Who Loved Me, but that one you can only see. That's not on Netflix. I think it's only on Viki in America. But before that, I was in Stove League, Hot Stove League, I think it's called in America. I think that one might be on Netflix. Okay. It's a baseball one. And I played a baseball agent in that, which actually the guy who plays my baseball player that I'm managing is he goes by Jack Zilla, so he's got the Zilla on the end as well. Okay. And then let me see. I was in a remake of Designated Survivor, the Korean remake of that. I played like the commander of the U.S. Korean Armed Forces. I was in Space Sweepers, the movie, the sci-fi movie. Okay. Very, very tiny role. You can't even tell it's me talking because I did my voice over because they changed the line. And then after I recorded that, they changed the edit so that now my speaking doesn't line up with my lips and my actions at all. So it's weird. And yeah, let me see. I mean, I don't know. I've been in many things. I'm Not a Robot. That was one. That was that's on Netflix. Chicago Typewriter, I think, is on Netflix or was. I'm in that one. Yeah. A bunch of stuff.
I was asking. Sorry to cut you off as well.
That's okay.
The reason why I'm asking is now that you're over in the East and you're doing acting over there. What's the most craziest thing you've probably seen so far that's not typical in what you would probably call an American film?
Well, first of all, when I was in America, I did a couple tiny parts in short films, and I also did some plays, but I was not working as an actor in America. It's very hard to be an actor in America. I was in the crew. I was behind the scenes. So I worked in art department. I built sets. I did sound. I did lights, that kind of stuff in theater and in independent movies and in TV commercials, stuff like that. And that's actually over here, I do a lot of TV commercials and also commercials like on YouTube and stuff. So I've been in a bunch of those that have played on YouTube in the US. So you might have seen me in some of those things as well. But I would say the craziest thing. So like I said, I did a lot of independent films. I worked on crew in independent films. And I'd say everything here kind of has the feeling of an independent movie in that now this is changing a bit more recently. There's more regulation in the industry. But when I first started working here, there was like zero regulation for how long we worked, how many hours we worked, and what kind of, conditions we worked in. So I'll give you an example. I did this movie called Rampant, I think it is in English, Changwal in Korean, and it means outbreak. And it was a zombie movie that takes place in what's called the Chosun Dynasty, which was Korea before the occupation by Japan. And it was this was a movie, but similar to the TV show, the Netflix show Kingdom. It was like that era zombie movie. And I was playing, I was basically just like an image extra. Like we were all playing Dutch sailors, and we get boarded by a Korean ship, and then we have a battle to the death on the Korean ship. And so when we shot that, we're on this fake ship, but it's all made out of wood. They wet the whole thing down. They gave us our costumes, which none of them fit very well. The shoes don't fit very well. So you're always, tripping and flopping around. The whole floor is wet. They put rags soaked with gasoline all over the ship, lit them on fire, gave us steel swords they're not sharp, but they're still steel. And then they said, when we say action, you run that way. The Koreans are going to come this way, and just start swinging your swords. And then one of you guys pretend to die, and then eventually we'll call cut. So people were getting hurt all over the place. Somebody had to go to the hospital. By the end of it, they had me lying down on the deck, and they just sprayed with a hose the sail with gasoline and lit it on fire. So this whole thing is on fire, and they're having us lie down on the deck, supposed to be dead, and it just starts dripping fire. And they were shooting a drone shot, and I was holding it as long as I could, and eventually I just got up. And as soon as I got up, this giant piece of on fire sail just plopped down right next to right on where I was lying. Would have landed like right on my face. Oh, so I think that was the craziest thing that I was a part of. Like the most just like dangerous, I'd say. But I think things have changed a lot in terms of regulation and what they do and stuff. And they make everybody go to action school if they're going to be doing action stuff now. And you learn a bunch of stunt stuff.
Wow, that's pretty cool. At least they're looking out for you somewhat.
Yeah, well, they're starting to.
That's so amazing. And we appreciate the fact that you do recognize that this is like a double header, because to have two significant factors of Squid Game on our podcast, that's so cool. And G gave us, he set it off with us, but obviously you have your own story of your own, and the backstory, please, like where you from and some of the trials. You said also, as he mentioned, it's easier to act in overseas than it is in Hollywood. Can you tell us your backstory of like where you're from and the trials and tribulations of you as you came up acting?
Sure. I'm from Jersey, New Jersey. That's where I was born. Then I went to college, but then when I was in college, I started playing music. And I dropped out of college to start playing music. I just kind of dropped out because I was kind of lazy, I guess. And This is a long time ago. This was like 1987 is when I left. And I started hitchhiking, and I hitchhiked around the country and rode freight trains and stuff for about a year. I ended up in San Francisco and then started playing in punk bands. And I spent about 12 years there playing in punk bands. And I did whatever to make a living. I mean, I was a cook a lot when I was young. When I was in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s, I worked as a cook a lot. And then I started doing overhire for events, like setting up lights or sound systems. And I did sound in clubs a lot. So I did live sound for like bands and stuff for a long time. So that's where I kind of got my background in doing working on sets and stuff like that. I'd studied acting in college as well. So that's when I started acting in middle school, and then I studied that in high school and then in college. But then I became obsessed with music, and that was my whole life, was music, until I was in my 30s. And then I moved to New York, and that's when I started working in theater and independent film on behind the scenes, like building sets and working on crews and stuff. I did a couple little plays there and a couple little short films. I'd say my biggest credit probably to date over there was there's an avant-garde composer named Philip Glass, and he used to write for this quartet often called the Kronos Quartet. And there's the Brooklyn Academy of Music, BAM. They put on this show called the Fringe Festival every year, where they have somebody who does like kind of outsider art or music or curate, and then they bring in some unusual outsider art. And I performed with them. They played music, and this friend of mine, Eric, is a puppeteer. He makes puppets and creates shows. And him and his wife, Jessica, they created this show. Their company is called Phantom Limb Company. And we put on this show where we built a 15-foot tall puppet, and that its chest would open up. And then there was a marionette stage inside, and there was little puppets in there, and they would perform. And I pushed out the big puppet, and then the puppet was a writer. So I controlled his arm. So he would write on the stage, and then he would lift up his hand, and then he would put it back down and stuff. And we did that with Kronos Quartet, which at the 25th, they played with us, but they were also curated the 25th annual Fringe Festival. That was in 2007, I think. Okay. And but then I went back out to LA. And but I was just doing renovations, and then I was working on a farm up in Northern California. I was
you're originally from the Bay Area. You're originally from the Bay, right?
Well, no, I'm originally from New Jersey, but I moved to San Francisco.
Yes.
When I was 19, I hitchhiked out to San Francisco.
Okay.
And then I was there until I was 30.
So you spent a good stint. Yes. So
that's the longest I've ever lived anywhere in my whole life.
Bay.
Was in San Francisco.
Hey, Bay Area stand up. So as we listen to your story, you said you've done everything from working on farms, trimming weed, everything to just pay the bills to keep it afloat while you were hustling on your way. That's powerful. Like, was your acting career really flourishing? Like, like G mentioned, he did movies and he acted, but it was like gigs that weren't as big as Squid Games. Like he says, like Squid Games was his like the breakthrough. Is that the same for?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean so when I got here. I came here. I'm 52 now. When I moved here, I was 43. And I came over here for a job. I was doing so I did everything. Like I was doing renovations. I was doing, like I said, trimming weed. I was working on the farm, like actually like selling vegetables at the farmer's market and stuff too. I mean, and yeah, just nonstop hustle. I mean, I was basically couch surfing my whole fucking adult life, you know? And I was always, I always just had this idea of myself that I was an artist, you know? It wasn't acting. Acting is something I always loved and always wished I could do, but it never seemed like it was something that was possible. I was mostly a writer and a photographer. And that's what I was, after music, that's what I was pursuing in my 30s, photography and writing. And I wrote some articles for Vice magazine. And
yes, I know about Vice. That's cool.
And I photographed some stuff for them, my own articles and some other articles and a cover and stuff. But that's what I was doing in my early 40s. And then one of the things I was doing to make money was occasionally I would do these video jobs. And I got this video job over here that was supposed to last a week. And then I was supposed to go to Hong Kong for a couple of weeks. And then I was going to go back home. And I had never been able to travel anywhere. I never had any money to travel anywhere. I never even had a passport. So I had been to a couple places in Canada and to Tijuana, because those places, when I was younger, you could go there just with a license. And so when I was on tour, when I was in my 20s in San Francisco, we would tour up and down the coast. And we would go up to Vancouver, or I was down recording a record in San Diego one time, and I just took like a trip to Tijuana. That was the extent of my international travels, you know. But it had always been my dream to do it. So then when I came here, I was supposed to be here for a week and then go to Hong Kong. And I finally got my passport. They bring me over. My job cancels while I'm on my plane flight over. So then I sit for 10 days. I make some friends while I'm here. And then they're sending me to Hong Kong, except the day before I'm going to Hong Kong, that job canceled. So they're just going to send me back to America. And I was like, I don't want to go back to America. I'd never fucking been here before. So I made, I think, $600 in cancellation fees. And that was basically all the money I had. And I was just like, I'm just going to stay here with this $600 and see what happens. And I ended up being able to work in Hong Kong and Taiwan occasionally. So I would go to those places and do some work, but I'd made this my base and I would just come stay here. And then I ended up meeting a woman and falling in love, and that's who I'm married to still. And so it was after we were married and I was trying to figure out what the fuck am I going to do to survive here. I started looking into voice acting, and then I did that. And then that led to some acting stuff. And then I just it's all been snowballing from there.
Wow.
You know, this is such an honor and a privilege to have actors of such a powerful show, and I'm definitely going to take advantage of this because I want to ask real questions, like not the foo Hollywood shit that you're probably going to hear, but like, did you ever question if you were going to make it? Like G mentioned that he was really into, like, he had to hold his son, and like he actually said to the Lord, like, he didn't make it. Then a week later, things happened. But like, I guess I'm asking as an artist myself, for all, you know, maybe I'll speak for all the artists who are in limbo, and it hasn't really happened for them yet. Like, you know, did you ever question if it was going to happen while you were on your way? You know, am I saying that right?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. You know, I know a lot of people. I have a lot of friends who, I have a lot of friends who are dead. You know, there's a lot of, especially in the Bay Area in the 90s, there was a lot of drugs, and, you know, everybody was into fucked up shit.
Man. Yeah, man. Speak on it.
A lot of people didn't make it through that. And now I still know a lot of people now who who still are trying, and it seems like you kind of have to get this, like, if you still spend your whole life thinking that you need success, you're never going to feel successful. And so I'd say, like, most of my friends that I know who struggled back then, and who still just wanted to live a life where they could do art and stuff, at some point in their life, they just said, well, I'm just going to do art, and that's just going to be it. And however well I live is however well I live. And they find peace and happiness in that. And I kind of, I did this thing where I gave up in my early 30s, where I felt like I went through my own struggles, in that same time, getting into the wrong shit. And I felt so ashamed after, and I was just like, I don't ever want to be anybody having to take care of me ever again, because I just felt like I was a sponge. So I kind of gave up on doing any kind of art. And that's when I started doing behind the scenes stuff, building sets and all that stuff. And that kind of kept me a part of everything. But I was more concerned with, like, I just need to make a living and just be an honest working man, And but I never wanted to stop doing art of some kind. So I kept doing stuff, playing a little bit of music. But that's when I started getting into photography and writing again. Writing was my first love when I was a kid. And so I got into that again. But I remember very vividly when I first moved to New York, I was working. A friend of mine had a building, and he like gotten like an inheritance or something, and gotten a building. He had a whole fucking building, and like a warehouse kind of thing. And he was gutting it and renovating it, and he just hired all his friends to work on it. And he hired me to do the electrical. I had just started doing some electrical work, and this was my first real job doing anything like that. So we had to work in the basement, and there was me and a couple other guys working down there. One of them is this artist who was doing like street art, named J.M. Rizzi. You can look him up. He makes some great shit. And now he's down in Dallas now, I think. And then this other guy is a sax player, Eric. He was from France. He's back in France, and he was like this jazz sax player. And so we're sitting down in this basement working all day, every day. And I remember saying that I just wanted to have an artful life. And I just had this, we were talking about life, what we want out of life and everything. And I just said, I just want to have an artful life. I just want to have a life where I'm doing interesting things all the time, as much as I can. I'm doing as much art, or being around as much art, or in some way, just being in art, surrounded by art. And I just want my whole life to be like that.
Yeah.
And so I just started living, yeah. So there was plenty of times where I felt like a loser because I was failing, or, oh, sorry, go on.
Bro, can you you should mute your mic. I think that was Rose saying something in the background, but we're listening to you, sir. Go ahead, please, sir. Please.
Okay.
So you were saying you felt like a loser because it wasn't happening at the time you wanted it to?
It's just, the thing is that you have to make this recommitment constantly throughout your entire life, where you're saying to yourself, everybody is saying, why aren't you, working a good job? Why aren't you, more successful? Why aren't you, whatever it is? Society is just going to be questioning you constantly, why you're not successful or not doing what you're, supposed to be doing as a member of society. And they're constantly going to be questioning you, and you're constantly going to be judging yourself based on that, internalizing all this shit that everybody's dumping on you, saying that like you're you're not contributing to society, or you're a loser or whatever. And I would feel like that. I'm a sensitive guy, and I would feel like that all the time. And I would there were many, many times in my life where I was just like, I just gotta fucking get any old job. And I did do that, where I just said, fuck it, I'm just going to do any old job. And I do it for a while, but I would be miserable, and I would just start drinking like crazy. I just get off work, and on my way home, I would just buy, like a 22, two 22-ounce bottles of something. And I would just fucking get home and drink until I passed out. And that's just how I would get through my days. And then it was just, unless I was doing something that felt, like it had some kind of meaning for me. Everybody's different. Everybody finds meaning in different things. Doing that kind of stuff, doing any kind of art at all, is what gives my life meaning. So I'm not saying it's the only thing to give meaning. Some people find meaning in doing whatever their job is, or they're making money or whatever. That's up for them. For me, what gave me meaning was doing art or contributing to somebody else's art, like working on a set, that kind of stuff, like helping make somebody else's vision come true. I love doing that. So I was definitely giving up.
I think the dopest artists, I think it's easy for an artist to make themselves look good. Like, you work on your craft, but if you can make somebody else look good, that's the epitome of a dope artist. Like, not too many artists can make other people look good, or invested in other people's art like it's their own. Like, Prince was one. Even you as you speak, you sound like you touch so many different mediums artistically.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is that part of that is just kind of laziness, in that I would always I would get good at something, and kind of good at something, and then when you're trying something, you hit a plateau and you just can't get any farther than this level. And sometimes it's like, I got a guitar back there. I've been playing guitar for, I don't know now, Jesus, like almost 40 years. And so when I was playing the guitar, I got to a certain level, and then I just couldn't get past that level, and then I just stopped. I would just stop playing, and rather than like doing the hard work to get through that, and then I would be like, okay, I guess maybe I'll start writing now. Well, maybe I'll start drawing now. Maybe I'll start doing, and I would just keep moving over to something else, and then I hit the wall on that one, and then I'd go back to some other thing, and a lot of times it worked out well. And that have you ever heard the phrase that you learn to ski in the summer? Like, basically, the idea is that, like, you're, or if you ever trying to figure out like how to solve a problem, and then you're thinking, you can't figure it out, and then you stop thinking about it, you go for a walk or you go to sleep, and then you wake up with a solution. And so it's a similar thing. Like, while you're away from it, your brain does all this stuff, like, without you being aware of it. Your unconscious mind is solving problems. And so it's doing like a lot of the rewiring and stuff for playing the guitar. You're hitting this like plateau, you walked away, you come back, and you have a fresh start, and then you start seeing things in a different way. And also you just kind of like realize what you did have, and you're able to push through those plateaus. So partly it was that I was lazy, and that just so happens that you just I don't know. I shouldn't denigrate it. I shouldn't put it down. I mean, I love learning new things. And so when one thing gets a little too hard and I don't feel like, I don't want it to become boring for me, so I go and do something else for a while. And then I go back to the other thing. And so it's only because I've not felt like putting in the hard work at certain amounts of time, at certain points of time when I was learning something, that I went to learn something else. And that's why I've done so many different things. So, but I also just really enjoy learning new things.
since the show has taken off and been so successful, has that given you more opportunities for acting parts and stuff?
Well, that is it's a really, really slow moving process, all this stuff. So I'm in talks right now with a manager in LA to sign with a manager down there and maybe head over to start doing some auditioning over there. But I'm certainly not at a level where people are just going to hire me without auditioning me. I mean, here I get hired without having to audition in Korea. But I mean, there's not that many people that I'm competing against, but I still usually audition for everything I do here. But occasionally I get something with, like, they just call me up and say, hey, are you available to do this job? But
I mean, I don't know if you're aware of it, but right now, like, Eastern film is kicking ass right now.
Yeah, I'm aware of it. Sure.
They're on the move right now. Like, they're, some of the stuff isn't in English, but they fix it and get it to English, and they're creating some great stuff. So, I mean, even over there, are you getting, since the show has been popular over there, are you getting more of the roles over there now?
No, nothing like that has happened yet. There's there hasn't been like everything kind of goes in waves when there's like, there'll be like a bunch of auditions that all happen kind of all around each other. And so there hasn't been anything new that is started up yet. So, but also like there's like for a lot of the dramas, it's like one particular agency that controls who acts in the dramas, and I don't want to work with that agency. So I used to do a lot of stuff with them, but they're a low baller, and I think they're unfair, and I don't agree with their tactics, and I'd rather not work through them. So so that cuts down my access to, that's just on the drama side. On the movie side, I audition whenever I can, but there hasn't been very many auditions lately. I still have been working, but I mostly work in the way a working actor here in Korea, a working foreign actor, I should say, they make their living generally through commercials. And so I mostly do commercials to make a living. And I've been working steadily through that. So
okay,
so you're doing that stuff.
You've been doing commercials, and that's been your steady cash flow right up to now. But with Squid Games being the hot shit right now, are you still working the commercials, or are you taking a moment to like enjoy this moment? I mean, I've never been a movie star. Like, I'm wondering what it's like.
I would say that there is very little to enjoy about it.
Ooh,
actually,
wow.
There's no, don't get me wrong. I'm to the point of enjoying, but I mean, it's really a trial by fire, and you really go through some shit when suddenly everybody in the world is looking at you. That's a fucking weird feeling. And it's really cool to hear you and G both tell us your Trika just walked in the building too. What up, Trika? Hi, hey Ma, how you doing? To hear the testimonies of you two great actors who hit right with your success, but like to hear the stories that lead up to it, like you guys had to work like you don't, I don't know, like to put the two and two together and get this backstory. That's so dope. The thing is, I think there's a difference between Jeffrey and I in that I think Jeffrey has been living and breathing acting the whole time. Like that has been his main thing that he has pursued. And acting is certainly something that I did. That was one of the things I thought I would do when I was young, in high school and college. That is one of the things that was my dream, but then music took over. And so then I was more obsessed with music. And then that led me down this whole crazy path. And then I ended up with acting again, 35 years later or whatever. But Jeffrey and I are similar in that we've both dedicated our lives to art, to our passions. And his was focused, seems prime. No, I shouldn't say that. He's a writer as well. Yeah. So maybe that's wrong to say that. Maybe I'm mischaracterizing Jeffrey. I don't want to do that because he also is a writer as well. So he's written movies and stuff too. So
has there been how when a show gets popular in America, I'm not sure how it is in Korea, but when a show gets popular in America, you do a press run all over the place, doing all kind of interviews. Now, is that going on over there, or is it kind of dry?
We did. The thing is that it has, I'm trying to figure out how to say this, while we are an integral part of the story of Squid Game, it's not about us. It's not about three white guys. You know what I mean? That's not what the show is about. That's not the meaning of the show. We're just kind of this ominous evil. I play a lot of evil white guys here.
Yeah, they have you and G kind of fucked up as the bad guys. Some really twisted bad guys.
Jeffrey's the super twisted one, I think. So that, like I said, that picture you had of the guy with the horns, that's Daniel. Daniel and I was VIP 1, Daniel's VIP 2, and Daniel's character is kind of like an idiot. He's like his character is, Daniel's not an idiot.
Yeah.
His character is kind of a buffoon. And my character was kind of like the straight guy, I'm the most normal, kind of in control of everybody.
You know what? As I was watching your character isn't as all the other ones. That's Trika. What's up, Trika? Hey, hi.
Sorry, I'm here. I'm just listening. Keep talking.
It's all good. Man, so that's really interesting that in overseas you guys are the epitome of the bad guys. You're the scary white guys. I
would say that for the most part, anything you've ever heard about what it's like, or this has changed a lot, I guess. It seems like it's changing a lot now. There's way more diversity in Hollywood than there used to be. Mm-hmm. But it used to be that the only roles for any non-white person was just either a bad guy or a best friend, or
drug dealer or some shit like that.
The bad guy.
Yeah. So it's so basically for non-Korean actors here, that's what it's like. So none of us are the stars, and there isn't really even that much curiosity about us. I don't feel from the general audiences. It's only, and that could be, I shouldn't say that. This is my fault because I've been here for many years and my Korean is still not very good. I just have survival Korean. If you're a foreign actor or a foreign entertainer and you speak Korean, then all doors are open for you and people will be very interested in you. But you, you have to kind of put in the effort to, be a part of Korean society.
Yeah.
I mean, I do try. My wife is actually a Korean teacher. She teaches Korean to foreigners. And,
that's cool.
But I'm a terrible student. And so like I was saying earlier about being lazy, like, I'll always get to a level and then I'll plateau and it's too hard. And then I'm like, I stop for a while. So I'm about to go into level 3 Korean out of 6. So I'm like a middle level.
That's cool.
But So anyway, we did some a couple of interviews. Daniel did some interviews for he's a part of he's much more a part of the voice actor community than I am. And there's a couple of voice actors who have radio shows here, foreign voice actors who have radio shows. So he's done a couple of their shows. And then he and I together did something for an English language Korean newspaper called the Korea Herald. And that's online. If you look up the Korea Herald, you can find our interview on there. On YouTube. He and I did one together, and I think that's going to be a part 2 coming out as well. But,
well, that series is a big part of pop culture right now, and
it's crazy.
It's a shame that they're not exploiting the simple fact that they have great American actors that are doing really well on a really well show. That's pretty crazy.
I mean,
not to exploit that a little more.
I mean, the thing is,
America pays.
I think, first of all, I mean, to be frank, we got pretty much torn apart in the press, for our performances. I mean, it's the thing is that there's acting here is very different from acting in America. Acting style.
Yes, sir. You know what? G kind of broke it down, and we spoke to you guys are getting kind of hated on for your acting from the critics overseas. But we at Dukksoop, we want to extend it to you guys and say you guys were fucking dope in it, man. Fuck y'all dope.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, when you think about it, y'all are going through the same kind of path or journey that Black folks or Black actors have to go through over here in the United States to get recognized in their movies and their creativities and all that stuff. It's you're in a foreign country, but we were born here. Some of us were born here, but some of us feel alienated at being here. So it's kind of the same vibe, that same mojo. So you just have to find a way to strive through it.
And Mike, if we could just extend it, as you notice, the panel Dukksoop is it's a hip hop based podcast, and we encourage all races and all, but we are brothers and sisters here. And I don't know if you've heard it just straight up, but the hip hop community digs Squid Game. We're Black. Yeah, I'm just saying. And if you didn't hear it like that, let us just put it out there. The hip hop community officially really digs Squid Game.
Why we appreciate Squid Games is because Squid Games is real life. That's not no game. That's real life.
Some of it is
until people wake up and realize that this is what life is, then it's gonna keep being a game. Make it reality.
Yeah. And it's also a bunch of creepy old white men who are fucking
and
everybody up.
The same motherfuckers have been wrecking our planet for how long?
Yeah, sure.
Because it's look, they got an app coming up.
Oh my God, they need to stop.
They gonna set it up to where you can really
they gonna run with it.
Killer games, but friendly games where
but you're still killing people.
And stuff my son has the shirt on right now. It's
the Squid Game shirt.
And that came from Walmart. So I mean,
wow.
Even when we talked to kids from Squid Games, he was even saying that Squid Games is not real. We need to not take it that personally. It was just a fucking movie.
And Miss and sir, we do understand that we're trying to be sensitive to the fact that you're still with this show, and we don't want to like fuck off your bag, fuck your bag up or nothing.
No, we don't find disrespect.
But honestly, yeah, we just want to know like your opinion. Like, do you have a personal opinion about Squid Games? Like G was just like, yeah, I act on it, but I wouldn't want my kids to watch it.
No, fuck Squid Games. But
like, but I mean, what's your stance on it, sir? Or do you have one?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I fucking loved it. I really think I think that the world is fucked. I think that I think the kind of the little people, I mean, you guys are all in America. I'm an American. Let's face it, as far as the world is concerned, we're all the 1%. But everybody in America and the G20 countries, we're all like at the top. But even within those countries, there's with the wealth disparity in America and Korea. In Korea and America are very similar in terms of wealth disparity. Like the difference between the super rich and everybody else. There's like a huge gap.
All of us.
And we're all just like fighting each other for just like these scraps, like we're all it's crazy. Like we're fighting each other
like fucking hound
over
dogs
like
fighting for a piece of bacon.
Yeah, but not even that. We're fighting over just like pieces of plastic, and it's just like, which is just fucking up the planet as well. And yeah, so and it's a bunch of old fucking white dudes. And
well, you can name the white dudes. Like that's all the power to you. We won't go.
We don't want to live with the white dudes though.
But I will ask you a question because you have Yay area in your blood. Yay area, stand up again. What are what's the similarities with the hoods in San Francisco compared to the hoods in Korea? Like, are there like some similarities? Or let me rephrase it. Are the hoods over there worse than the hoods out here in the Bay?
You mean just like the neighborhoods?
Well, not just
but the hoods. Are you saying hoods like neighborhoods or hoods like crooks?
The hoods like
ghettos.
The ghettos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's completely different.
Do you even go over there? I wouldn't go over there if I was you.
Tell us about it, please. I want to know all about it, please.
Well, okay. So, I mean, when I lived in the Bay Area, when I lived in San Francisco, I lived in the Lower Haight, and then I started out in the Lower Haight, and then I was in the Mission. So back then, I don't know. I have no idea what San Francisco is like now. I think it's gotten super rich now, right? But this was back in the 80s. It was a little different. So when I was there back then, and I also drove a cab for a little while in the mid 90s. I drove a cab, like a graveyard shift cab in San Francisco. And when you drive a cab, you go everywhere in the city. So, I mean, I saw every part of San Francisco all hours of the day and night. It's completely different here. There is no area that is like that. There are desperate people, but there's nothing like where, okay, let me explain it this way. I saw, when I first came here, I saw I was on a busy street. A woman went into a cafe. She had a scooter. She stopped her scooter in front of the cafe. She opened her purse, took something out, left her purse on the seat of her scooter, and went inside to the cafe.
Never where I'm at.
Okay.
So you can go into a cafe and you can bring your laptop and you can just go to the bathroom for an hour. People will they want to save their seat. They'll just go to dinner and they'll leave their stuff sitting there.
Wow.
And so it's like
that stuff be stolen within 15 minutes.
Wow.
Clearly.
Oh, that's good. That's good. It's
Really
less drama over there, I guess.
I love to live for those type of days.
Like so there's like a real sense of I think it's because the culture here is much more of a it's based on Confucianism, but which is a collectivist kind of philosophy as opposed to individualistic philosophy.
Yeah.
So but that has been also starting to break down a bit because of capitalism, like this kind of late stage, crazy, desperate capitalism that we got here. That's why they made the show Squid Game, because
that's so disheartening, because I think we need those societies that hold those truths and hold them firm for us that get pulled away from it to come back to something.
I agree. I think there should be some there should be okay. The problem with that though is that I totally agree, and I understand what you're saying about there being kind of like a repository of these different ideas of different ways to live, so that humanity can always hold on to them. And it's like your appendix. I've heard this idea of what the appendix. I have no idea if this is not what the appendix they were saying is. Like this kind of safe place where bacteria reach to, and like if you illness that where it's a bad bacteria or something, good bacteria hide in there and then repopulate your intestines to make you healthy. I don't know that, but same kind of thing. We have these cultural ideas and we hold on to them, and they're kept alive somewhere. And we can always, get them back again. But the only thing I would say to that is there are some cultural things that people hold on to that are what's a cultural thing that we should get rid of, and what's a cultural thing that is like a poison that we have to get rid of, or that what's something we should keep, what's something that should go away. Like they do
discernment.
But like collectivism, there's a lot of people in Korea now who are rejecting, and because it makes them feel as individuals like they have. I mean, I don't want to be Korean, but I from scene. I'm not like on it. From seems like there's this called hell chosen. Chosen was the name before, and where young people don't feel like they can be themselves, because there's this hierarchy of like older people being in charge. You can't say anything against the older people, or you can't say anything against your boss. This hierarchy is very strictly maintained. It's actually part of the language. Use different word when you speak to different people on the hierarchy. This is one of the reasons why Korean is so hard to learn. But so they're trying to get rid of it because for them, they don't like it. Now, I understand that from our point of view, from an individualistic point of view, where we're seeing the world get ripped apart by capitalism and everybody saying mine, 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 and seems like we're about to have a fucking civil war in America. Like you might say, well, I wish we could have some of that collectivism. But in the meantime, those people are unhappy with it, or the people here, I should say, are unhappy with it. And they're trying to, so we can't make them hold on to it and not change just because we need it in the future. So everybody's got to find their own path, I feel like.
Everybody got to find their own Squid Game.
Yeah. I think everybody's in their own Squid Game. Everybody's got to find their own way out of this fucking Squid Game.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right. Everyone is in their own Squid Game. Like I watched it And the first, like I said, if you were to tell me, Adrian, a couple of weeks from now, you'll be interviewing these great actors, like, yeah, right, like, fuck yeah. But
you guys are killing me with this great actor thing.
no, because brother. I mean,
you did a great job.
Yeah, bro, come on, man.
Thank you.
Regardless of what some critics say where you are, we in America, and I think we'll say we're good judges of what American pop culture and hip hop likes. We love the job you guys did on the show, and it's
I very much appreciate that.
And yeah,
presented on the
go
show.
ahead, Jay.
I was saying, I was just proud to see that on their parts. It was like apparently you could tell it was from another country that it was made, but it was dope to see that America was represented on the show. And of course they're gonna bash our parts, but we love the fuck out of it because it wouldn't have been number one on Netflix. And hella people didn't love it and watch it over and over.
Sure.
And like honestly, when you and G tell us the stories of not just the glitz and the glamour, but like the work that it took you guys to get there. Like you guys are like regular people. And that's what we need to understand, that we are honestly, what I got from G and you the most is that it's not too late. It's not too late. Like you gotta kind of have faith. You gotta have faith, and you gotta keep working. And right when you think it's done is when it can happen. So you just gotta keep the faith and keep working. Keep your head up.
Hey, I want to ask you guys something.
Yeah.
This is going back a long way. Are you guys familiar with early 90s, mid 90s hip hop from Oakland?
Throw a name at us. We're so hip hop over here. It's crazy. Throw a name at us.
I can't remember the name of the guy. I want to say it was.
Remember any of his song titles?
I remember the song because I worked on the music video for it.
Shit.
We went to this guy's place in Oakland, and they had a barbecue, and we just shot. That's what we shot, was them doing the barbecue and playing dominoes and stuff. The song was called "Promoting That Pimpin'." You guys. Promoting that pimpin'. That's how it went. Promoting that pimpin'. That was the.
With that shit, do you know the verse? With the verse, do you know the verse? Can you spell it?
No, I don't. That's all I remember is that. I think it was like something with a K, and I don't know. It might have been Special K or something K.
Did it have like a killer something in it?
No. I think it was just the letter K.
All right.
And let me see.
That's dope though.
He was like his similar delivery to Too Short. Yes. Like that same kind of vibe. Which I guess makes sense. But
I mean, and you said this was in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
And y'all was shooting a music video?
I'm about to do the Google for it right now.
John is promoting that pimping right now.
Yeah, promoting that pimping. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find that song right now. Stop playing.
In the 90s, wasn't no broke ass rapper shooting no videos. So
they did not have a lot of money. And our crew was like a very low budge crew. It was just me. I was just like a helper on it. It was just me and two other guys. There was like the guy who was doing all the shooting and everything, and then he had like two helpers. Then I was one of the helpers.
Can I ask you a question, John?
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel when you go on sets and you're promoting or you're doing these videos with people who walked a different life than you have? How do you go about it?
I mean, you just have to. The thing is, you get so little time to actually like make, or you don't even know what your character is usually here for most of the stuff that we do. So it's easier to answer that of talking about, I've done some plays here. And when you do a play, you get a lot of time to rehearse and you develop your character.
It's already set.
Well, no, you actually create your character. You always have to find your character and create like I did a play last year where I played like a 90-year-old man who had been in the Korean War. And I was being reunited with my friend from the Korean War. And that was a brand new play. So when we were rehearsing it, we were actually kind of writing it. We were like fixing some stuff and changing stuff. So we were all kind of creating the play together. Mm-hmm. And when you're doing something like that and you're finding a character, you just are, most of it is by instinct. And a lot of it is by what you like, you just kind of think about what something must be like, and you try to imagine, and then maybe you do some research, you look up some interviews of people from that time. But when I'm playing like just like a bad guy or an asshole or like a CIA agent on a show or something like that, you usually don't have very many scenes, you don't have very many lines, and you just kind of either do a lot of times specifically here, they want you to act like somebody else they've already seen. Right. So they just want you to like act like what they think a CIA guy acts like in another movie, or so a lot of times we'll do like when you do commercials, they'll actually have a commercial that was already shot in America and they'll say, we want you to do that. And they're like literally just want you to do the exact same thing that was in this other commercial, and they're just copying it.
So have you shot like music videos, like gangster music videos? Okay, and so how do you relate?
I did for music videos here. When I was over there, when I did Promoting That Pimpin', that was I was working on the crew.
And that's what I'm asking. Like, how did you deal with that? Because I don't think that's like that's not even common for me. So how did you relate to making that?
Back then, that was like I gotta say, it was a pretty intense experience. There was it got a little tense for a while. There was like, because we're very, very far away from any kind of public transportation. And we had like all this equipment with us. And the guy shooting it didn't know the guy we were shooting for very well.
Right.
So we just showed up. Yeah. And so we showed up, and the other guy who we were working with was I was really young. So I was maybe like I was probably like 22 or something, and maybe 23, but I think I was like 22. And the other guy who was helping was a lot older than me. And he was from like a different era of like I don't know, understand. He just took things really personally. So anyway, it's 3 white guys there, and then the whole like party and stuff was all black people. And the guy, somebody said something to that older white guy who we're with, and he got offended by it. And then he said something offensive to some other guy. And then suddenly everybody is like, wants to beat that guy up. And we're just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, me and the other guy were just like, we weren't even in the same room, and suddenly all this shit is going crazy.
We was in a good space before you came in here with that bullshit.
It's that rap music, bro. Rap music and rap videos, bro. I always be with the shits, bro, all the time, bro.
But the thing is,
it's not that.
It actually, I mean, to be honest with you, that chilled out soon, like the guy who was like the main guy who was shooting, the guy I was working for, he just like told that guy to go somewhere else for a little while, like in another room, and apologized, and everybody chilled out. Yeah. Because everybody else who were shooting, they're all just partying the whole time. They're getting fucking wasted, smoking weed, they're drinking booze.
That's crazy.
But then it ended with somebody pulling a knife on somebody, and then it was like this, like people are getting guns, and then people are like running out of the house, and then people ran out after them. And then suddenly everybody is gone, except for like this woman who lived in the house, and they all went chasing after whoever had pulled the knife on somebody. Everybody went chasing after that guy. Whoa. And we were just like suddenly sitting there in the middle of this project, like with all of our equipment, and the woman kicked us out of the house. And so we're just like sitting like in the, like the cul-de-sac in the middle of the projects somewhere in Oakland at like 2 a.m, waiting, trying to figure out how to get a cab to get all our shit out of there.
Crazy.
That's nuts.
But it wasn't like there was never, I don't know, except for that dude, the old dude that we were with, fucking being an asshole. There was never. You
never felt in danger of being around people.
No. When everybody, I mean, when people start pulling guns out,
that's kind of scary. When guns start coming out, you're like, oh, what the fuck?
That's gonna be scary. But you didn't come in danger before that. And it wasn't even us. I mean, I say us.
No, we were just everybody was just chilling out. We're shooting. Everybody's just trying to have fun.
The aggressiveness of someone else who doesn't understand that culture that brought that on. So,
hey, sir, if you don't mind me asking, some rapid fire ones. Obviously, you're a fan of hip hop. You respect hip hop to a degree. Who's your favorite artist? You have a top three? Your top three favorite artists? Who you listen to? Yeah, hip hop, please.
If I was to go back and think about who I still enjoy listening to, I definitely would have to say Tribe Called Quest is up there.
Hey, good choice. Keep it going. Okay, keep it going. We're real critical over here. Like, what are you listening to? Go ahead.
Tribe.
Yeah. Rest in peace to Fife.
I really, really loved back in the day. I really loved Black Sheep a lot.
Hey, yes, yeah. Engine number 9.
Yeah. Who was the Black Sheep? What's the Black Sheep?
Yeah, dude. That's like shit. Yeah, that's good. That's Okay.
That I put it in deep and then I drag it out. That's
okay.
Long Dick Daddy, Mr. Long. Yeah,
you know about some short bitch. Go ahead.
Let me see.
And your third, please.
I was also really into EPMD, I guess.
Okay.
But I was super into I was really into my first things I ever listened to were like the one that really penetrated to like New Jersey was probably Public Enemy. And
that's good choice.
And I was really into Public Enemy and Boogie Down Productions.
Hey, Cass, one of the greatest.
Don't nobody know about Boogie Down Productions unless you're real old school.
It seems like they just dropped off and nobody pays attention to them or KRS-One or anything anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
well, sir, you know what?
Listen to my 9mm go bang,
bang. Yeah,
One
yeah.
at a ting, one at a
Wait
ting.
a minute, John.
Here's the
Wait a
KRS
minute, John.
One.
Wait a
La la
minute,
la la.
John.
Hey, gra,
Wait
gra.
a
That's that
minute,
shit.
John.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let you live because
Okay.
I ain't got nothing better to do.
Hey, John, you know what though? It really is refreshing to like, cause you know, like you're one of us, bro, and for you to make it, it's inspiring to us that you made it.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're
hope
from
so.
the town. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about skin. It's just the drive, the hustle, because you know you had to get it too. So that's dope, bro. Congratulations!
Thank you very much.
to
I
bro.
really appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Squid Games 2. How deep are you into it? How much can you do? Can you speak about it?
I don't know shit about it. I mean,
you can't say shit. You trying to get this man fired or what?
Well, you know,
I mean, I literally don't know anything at all. I have no idea. Like, I would imagine that even if they put us in, I will be the last one to know.
Yeah.
That's just the way that's the way it happens here.
Will you be doing the comic book circuit, the cons, like G's mentioned? Because you're in the you're one of the yes. Oh. So, but do they invite you to the American soil to do the circuit of comic book conventions?
Well, okay, so the for that stuff. For the big one, for the San Diego Comic-Con, that one you have to come in. Well, you can do like a separate thing, but I think you would have to be a part of like the Netflix, booth or whatever. And I don't know if they would do that with us, but I was thinking about this. Never even occurred to me that this was a possibility until Van. Jeffrey introduced me to Van.
What up, Van? That's my guy.
Yeah, wonderful human being.
Van's been getting mentioned for the last couple weeks.
Go, bro. Van, aka Go, man. Gio, man. He's active. Love that guy.
Go, Van.
Yeah. He's a sweet man too. And so I talked to him, and that's when I found out that you can just do appearances just at like a comic book store and just like sign autographs, and you just get like $15 or something like that. So I was thinking maybe I would try to I would love to just try that as an experiment, just to see what that's like. Anyway, just as to do something new.
Yes, sir. You should.
But then so I was thinking about doing that to try and fund my trip over there to go do some appearances, see what that's like, see what the response is like. But I would love to do Comic Cons, and I'd especially love to do like I came here for work. That's how I ended up coming here. And everywhere I've been in the world, I've only ever been there for work. I got flown to Budapest for a shoot. I got flown to Hawaii for a shoot. I did the videography work in Hong Kong and Taiwan. And that's how I came here. And so it's the only time I ever travel was when somebody pays me to travel. And so I've been thinking, like, I would love to do the Comic Cons all over Europe. So that would really be, I mean, I've been all over the States many times, because that's when I was in punk bands, we used to tour all over the country. So I've been everywhere in the US, and I'll do that again, but I would really love to do that in Europe. That would be my dream, because I've only been to Budapest. That's the only time I've been to Europe. So to be able to check that out again.
Country. But if you ever want to come and we can link up and we can make something happen at San Diego Comic-Con, I'm always here for you.
Thank you. Well, if I come up there, if I come over there, I am definitely going up to see Van and his space, and hopefully he's going to have a grand opening or something, like do a signing. But yeah, either you guys come through, you guys could do a podcast from there.
Easy, yeah. Van, my bro.
And see you guys.
You know, straight up, one more time, I want to give Van a big shout out. That's my brother, man. Love him, bro. Yeah, I fuck with Van tough. That's my guy. He's a good guy. Boy, okay, man. Okay, so we're like 30 minutes from being out of here. So we're gonna try and pick your brain a little bit more before we get up out of here. But it's so dope to have you here. So and I guess it's like, okay, so this is like our third interview with Squid Game because Van was like one, and then we did G2. This is like a third part. So it's like some of these questions come from a place where we've been asking them several times. But so with Squid Games being this successful and you're doing your thing, are you going to parlay it into anything else? Like, are you writing any books, memoirs? Or are you going to like start get back into your punk band, put out your new mix? Do you miss the music? Do you miss the music?
Well, I mean, you can see I still.
I see. Yeah. Do you ever miss of like recording, putting stuff out?
Well, I when the pandemic first hit, I was sitting at home doing nothing, and I had all this music that I had written, and I just decided to start putting it out. So on my YouTube channel. There's like, so I make movies. I write and direct my own short films.
Okay.
And
okay, that's dope.
You can see my music, you can see my movies, some of my acting stuff on my YouTube channel, which I think if you just search John D. Michaels, you will you'll be able to find it on YouTube. John D. Michaels. Hey there, it shows up on the bottom of my name there. And you can find my, there's like four movies I directed. I wrote three of them. One of them a friend of mine wrote, and I have a fifth one that I shot a few years ago that I was waiting to do some post-production stuff that never happened. So I might just put that up as is. But and then with the music, though, I had all this stuff that I was never finishing. And then I decided to just push myself to finish and put out an EP. So I have an EP. It's called Captain Island. And it's on Bandcamp. If you search Captain Island, you can find my EP that I did, self-titled EP, Captain Island. And that's like I think it's 7 songs. Every song is very different. It's like none of it's really punk rock. One of them is pretty heavy, but the music is all over the place. There's like some soundtracky stuff.
I wish we could play some of it. I wish we could play some. Do you have it accessible to your on your laptop right here? Can you play a song or something?
I don't know if I can. I don't know how to share.
Ooh, I'm like,
I don't know how to share the audio.
Up. Let me see this. I'm going to make you the host. Now make you the host.
Oh, but actually, I don't even know how to. How do I do the?
I made you the host, and I don't know if you can go to your iTunes and pull it up from there. Like, this is my first time being in this much control. It's giving me a headache. Like, whoa, okay.
Let me see. Let me see where my stuff is.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
What he needs to do.
Yes, we can hear you.
You can pass him the host. Tell him to click on share. When he clicks on share, go to his desktop. Click on iTunes.
He's right there. You can just tell him.
Yeah, I'm right here, man.
You
when
can
he clicks on iTunes,
you can just tell him, bro. You're talking to him. Like,
when he clicks on iTunes, then all he has to do is do like he normally does and pick the song that he wants to play. But he has to hit share first.
I actually I don't even have it on iTunes. I have it all on. I mean, it pops up on iTunes, but let's see, what would I? So I do like I really like a lot of like 70s.
You can do it the way you like to do it. You don't have to do it. I'm just assuming you had it on iTunes, whatever you have it on, but you got to make sure you hit share first. And then when you go to share, there's going to be a bunch of little pictures. You click on the one that's your desktop, and then you go like you would normally go to play the song that you want to play.
Okay, here we go. It says to share, you have to add share sound, and I'll share stereo high fidelity.
There you go.
And all righty. Let's see what happens when this comes up. So let me see. I'm trying to think. This is not the EP. There's all these songs from the EP, though. Do you guys want to hear?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'm not going to play the whole EP. And the EP is like a million. It's like a bunch of different kinds of music. But where's Papa Hot Then Funk? Oh, you know what? I can. Here we go. Let's. I'll find this. I'll find this without sharing.
Yeah, and please, and while you're going ahead and looking for it, the fact that you are on the most popular television show right now on Netflix and still pursuing your dreams and your passion of your music, that's a testimony right there. That's cool.
Well, thank you. Okay. Hang on now. I just, you guys have got to see this. Where are you? Oh, whoops. Here we go. All right. I just searched my YouTube wasn't working for a second, so I just did the search. So if you search, that's how you find me, John D. Michaels.
That's so dope.
Look at this. Who the hell is this? How to pronounce John
D.
Michaels. Is that bizarre or what?
No, but yeah. And you know what? If you notice, it just came out like a couple of weeks ago. You're the man now.
It's funny. All right. So if you were to go to my channel and you go
movies.
to playlists,
that's
then,
so cool.
You can go to where's my Captain Island? Captain Island. Oh, here we go. All right. So this stuff, some of this stuff is from the EP, some of it's not. Some of it's like my soundtrack stuff, which is, but I'll share this one. This is like kind of like a 70s like German funk kind of song, like a Kraftwerk or something.
Yeah. Oh, please, we want to hear it.
It's pretty ridiculous though. Okay, and I made these videos just using like found footage. So, and tell me if the sound works.
Just do it.
Okay, now's the time.
Can you guys hear it?
You gotta get up and boogie with this, honey.
Okay.
Yeah. You gotta find that boogie body. Okay.
Give it a sec.
That's good. Looks good. Feel the beat. Chicka, chicka,
Can you make the screen large? Make the screen large.
Oh, okay. I wish you could hear the bass more.
Headphones are nice. crazy. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's so cool.
And that's all it does for it's just basically a solo the whole time. I'm just fucking doing a solo over it the whole time. But this
it's funny because it's like, even with all your success, you're still hungry. You're still out here doing your thing,
I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, my main thing there, I want to find just so you hear some of the heavier shit that this is probably the heaviest one that I did.
That's cool.
All right.
That's fire, bro. I love it, bro. That's dope.
Was that you on the vocals too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope, man.
What program did you make your music in?
That one was I think that was originally recorded in Ableton, but then I had like a free let me stop the screen share. I had a free version of Ableton that came with that MIDI controller, that keyboard there. And then I just decided to shell out the money for Logic Pro. So now I have Logic Pro.
Hey, that's dope.
So I finished that one on Logic Pro, and then everything I write now is on Logic Pro.
Hey guys, I just ran across the internet, just found out that today is Tony Todd's birthday. Want to give Candyman a shout out. We have to recognize that guy's birthday. Happy birthday, Candyman. Candyman. Yeah, that's my guy. Man, okay, we're almost out of here, and it was really, okay, so first timers, every time someone comes to the soup and just hangs out with us, we always got to ask, what you think about our podcast? How do you feel about us? What you think about the experience with us tonight? Has it been like any other interview you had before?
No, It was well. I'll say this. It was there's a bar that to be met, which is Van is somebody who really puts you at ease and makes you comfortable and feels like you can talk about anything. And you guys matched his bar of feeling super comfortable and chill. So
yeah, man, that's the homie. I'm telling you, we're all family. We are.
It feels like a safe space here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We try to be.
Yeah.
That's nice.
We are family.
Great.
Okay, and what is on the horizon with you as an artist, like Squid Games? But are there any other venture that you're like speaking about on the next? Please, bring them up.
Sure.
Please.
Okay, so there's in the kind of like the big world of like the industry, I have a couple movies coming out soonish, I guess. Like one's called Emergency Declaration. That premiered at Cannes that last summer, and that's going to be coming out in the States sometime next year, as well as something called Confidential Assignment 2 with it's a Korean movie, but it's also Daniel Henney, who's now in the Wheel of Time on Amazon. He was on that TV show Criminal Minded or Criminal Minds. Not Criminal Minded. I was saying BDP again.
Yeah. Hey, fuck yeah.
We all Criminal Minded.
Yeah. So no, he was on Criminal Minds, Daniel Henney. I play his boss in that one. I'm his like FBI boss. But then I got a couple of short films, independent films coming out soon. Both of them sci-fi. One of them is a sci-fi comedy called Conception. That was written and directed by a very good friend of mine named Calvin Yeager. You can look up his stuff too. If you go to my site on my playlists, there's movies that I'm in. It says short films I'm in. There's one called Invaded. Invaded episode 4, and that one was written by him, and I was the cinematographer on that as well, but I acted in that. And so Conception's coming out, and then another sci-fi drama called Sentence by a Korean director named Seung-min Cho, and that one is they're both, I'm really happy with both of them. I'm really excited for both of them. But I'm also, so I'm a writer and a director, and lately I have been writing and co-creating an animated series, what we're hoping to be an animated series with an illustrator character designer here named Hyundai. And he had some characters he drew, and then he had this idea for them, and then he was looking for a writer, and we had a mutual friend who connected us, and so we're trying to do a series. I've written the first episode, and I plotted out the rest of the series, and we're hoping to start pitching that to see if we can get it made. That's something that I'm hoping I can use my Squid Game cachet for, because the hardest thing is to get into a room with somebody who has the money. You know, it's all about the gatekeepers who have the money, and you got to go and somehow get an audience with them and beg. And just getting that audience is the hardest part.
So, sir, I'm actually working on some animation also, and I just wanted to pick your brain on that. Are you guys actually trying to complete a mini episode to pitch, or are you pitching the script, or what do you?
We looked into that, and so it was pretty expensive. So there's the other option is what they call an animatic, and that's where instead of doing like a full animation, you just do like as if you're doing storyboards, and then you you record all the audio for it, and you just show like the storyboard. So this scene, then this scene, then this scene, like, so when the guy's talking, they'll have his face and they show the other guy's face, but you don't animate in between. But what we're going to be doing is what's called a pitch deck. If you go, I can't remember the name of it. If you just look up the pitch deck for Adventure Time, and you will see how they pitched their show. And it's basically it's like doing a PowerPoint presentation. So you're just doing all these slides.
Okay.
And you just pitch. It's like you say who the characters are. You do the summary of different episodes and that kind of stuff. So that's called a pitch deck. So look up pitch deck animation. Adventure Time's a good one to look up as well. And then that's what we've been doing. We're just Googling everything and trying to figure out how to do it.
Hey, I wish you the best of luck.
Get it, your cartoon thing.
I wish you the best of luck on your cartoon too.
What's your cartoon?
Oh man, I got a character called Juan and Phil, the hip hop heroes, and they're like two little characters that fight for hip hop in the culture. And you should let me mail you a comic book, and possibly, if you don't mind, I could pitch to you, or maybe you can help me pitch my shit. I mean, I don't know.
Well, the pitching is like that's like a full-time thing, figuring out how to do your pitch and bring your pitch on board. So there's no way I could promise to do that while I'm trying to do my own. But,
yes, sir.
But I'd certainly be happy to look at it and I can give you whatever feedback you want. I'm not sure how much my feedback would matter, but
if nothing else, I will send you a copy of my comic book. Seriously, sir.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to see it.
Man, this is so cool. Thank you for being here with us, man. We're almost out the door, but guys, man, I'm just taking this in. Fuck, this is crazy. This is so dope.
What's so crazy?
What's it's crazy is, like I said, like a couple of weeks ago, watching Squid Games. My first time, I'm just like, man, I rolled up a blunt and I'm like watching it, like, oh, this shit's crazy. And then like almost like 2 months later, to actually talk to actors in it. Like that's like, wow, that's really dope to me. Like that's a blessing. Thank you for the opportunity too.
Yeah, I mean, well, this is also a unique and new and unusual experience for me too. So to be on a podcast and talking to somebody about my life, I feel blessed to have this opportunity as well. So we're all just people just trying to fucking find our way through the world, and it's all the fact that I'm doing something with my life to try and be interesting. You're doing something with your life to try and make it interesting and artful, and people like that bump into each other. As the more you do that in your life, the more you bump into other people who are doing it, and that's what's good about it.
Yeah.
Circle of life.
still sharp and still,
Yeah. It sounds like somebody's banging some steel somewhere.
Oh, jokes. Yeah.
What does that sound?
They getting that late night meal ready. Somebody.
Okay.
There's some questions before. I know we got like 10 minutes, but real quick, I just want to ask you guys some general questions that I came up on over the week. Real quick, the Beatles has a new movie coming out. I'm not a Beatles. I mean, I'm a Beatles fan. I respect them, but I'm like, after all the Beatles flicks, is there any knowledge of the Beatles we don't know? Or is there anything left to be said? Well, are you guys, or are you excited about the new Beatles movie? You even thinking about seeing it?
I think if you a Beatles, they got a lot of Beatles super fans and even new Beatles fans. But this movie is different from the others because the others were them acting in movies or other people acting as them. This is the actual behind the scenes. They were shooting stuff knowing that they would do something like this one day that they never released.
Okay.
Everybody finally signed on. Like, okay. Like, I guess Yoko Ono, like
Yoko Ono, yeah.
Yeah, she was the last, and she finally was like, you know what? Go. Do it. And they finally got to do this. So this is, I know to a lot of people, this is just another Beatles movie, but this is kind of special one because you get to see a lot of them interacting without the glitz and glam camera. You get to see before they were famous.
If that's the case, bro, I want to see that. That sounds dope. Like some B-side Beatles stuff. Yeah.
I seen the little intro. I was like, wow, okay.
That sounds lit.
It's the making of the Let It Be album, and so I think this is actually the additional footage. Like there was a version of this that came out and then went away, and then this is like they went through all the footage from all of it and put this together. I've been watching like little bits and pieces on YouTube. It pops up on my YouTube, like it'll be like a little 30 second, 1 minute clip. And I've been watching those and it's pretty fascinating, but I don't know if I would watch the whole 8 hours of it. I don't know if I certainly respect and appreciate the Beatles, but and there was times in my life where I listened to them, regularly ish for short periods of time, but I'm not like a super fan or anything.
It's 8 hours long.
Yeah, it's a series.
A series.
I think.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's like in episodes. I'm not even sure. Yeah, I think it was originally going to be 6, and then and now it's closer to 8. But yeah, I'm not really that. I'm not a super fan, but I'll watch it. I'll watch parts of it. On the stuff I've been watching on YouTube, I'll watch, but I don't think I'll watch the whole series.
And he finally started registering it, which creates same sensation.
Gotta be a fan.
Yeah, because he felt worth the predicated of how special he felt, realized
Bro, I have no idea what you have on. Can you mute your mic?
I think somebody was actually, they were saying something.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Anyway, we are almost out of here. Do you guys want to do some alley-oops and just like take it out of here on that cue?
What's the alley-oop?
Alley-oop. Okay, so this is what we do. All right. He's like, what the fuck is going on here? All right, so look, alley-oop is when I started off. Hey, everyone, it's been a great episode tonight. And you can find me at Adrian H. Scott on Instagram and Facebook. And what else? I'm working on some new ventures. Oh man, I just got the green light on the art project that went into effect before the quarantine. I just got the green light like 2 days ago. So I'm like, oh yes. So I'm happy about that. And I'm really excited about going into the new year with some. I'm going into the new year like fuck this year. It's been done. I'm looking forward to a new year.
Hey,
yeah, we got through this year, so I'm happy to look at a new year. So and then Thanksgiving and family was good. So anyway, then I go alley-oop. Thank you for watching the soup tonight, and then my alley-oop it to Trika. Why don't you take it away and tell the people about your podcast, please?
And what would you say?
Tell the people about your podcast, please.
My podcast is Know Better, Do Better. We do it every other Thursday. We just had this last Thursday, so you catch us in a couple weeks. My podcast is about growth, period. Mental, spiritual, physical, emotional, however you feeling that you're growing within yourself and going within and sharing your journeys. That's what our show is about. I have to give big thanks up to Dukksoop because they empowered me to do my own podcast and hold that power. I want to thank Age and everybody here because I truly feel like without y'all I probably wouldn't have took that jump, but I need to take that jump, and I'm still building, I'm still growing, I'm still human, I still fuck up, but I love being a part of this podcast as well because this is my home, this is like my birthplace. So
we see you shining too, Trika. Yeah, we see you out here doing your thing. So yeah, big shout out.
So I'm gonna toss it to. Well, let's toss it to John. This is his first time getting something tossed.
Take it away, John. How can the people find you? And yeah, the whole shit, bro.
Hey, all right. Well, I certainly enjoyed this wonderful experience and chatting with you guys, meeting you all. It's great to see that you're inspiring each other and that you're moving forward with your own lives and pursuing a life of passion and art and fulfillment and growth. That's all awesome. You can find me on Instagram at, it's so irritating. I don't wish I had an easier name. I think if you just search John D. Michaels, you can find me on Instagram, but Sudden _A, SUDDEN _A is my Like if you search John D. Michaels and you see somebody else that's an imposter, then you should report them. Sudden_A. And then also YouTube, watch my stuff. I do stuff. And it's if you just search John D. Michaels on YouTube, then you find me. And then other than that, just keep looking around. I'd say everywhere you have the opportunity to write John D. Michaels is the best thing about Squid Game somewhere. I mean, that's probably not going to hurt me. And I think that's it. I'm going to alley-oop that to Jay Fetty.
Hey, you know what you're doing. Hey.
You didn't need no coaching or nothing.
I'm telling you,
you got it, John.
It's the Bay Area in him, bro. Yay area.
You got it.
It's in his blood. It's all good.
It's the sourdough.
What it do?
Really fun tonight, talking with somebody when you watch something like Abe said, and that was so interesting, and it was to me, it was entertaining, so that's what they made it for, and that's what it's for, and I thank you for your contribution to that, and that was really dope that we actually got to talk with you, so appreciate that, and thank you for your time.
Yeah.
You can find me on Facebook, JAYFEDY, or you can find me on Instagram, FEDY2700, or you can catch any of my music on all digital platforms, J-FEDY, or if you're in the Bay Area, need some film or need some studio, give it at Cloud Studio. And I'll toss it to Word from Ro.
Roselle.
Roz 20,000 on Instagram and Roselle Joyner on Facebook.
Where's your word though, Ro?
Work ethic. It's 2 words. Work ethic.
Let's get it. And man, it's been an honor once again, sir, for having you this evening. And when you do come to the Bay Area, please hook up with Van. Please hook up with Go, and we'll be right there with you. Go hang out with you.
I certainly will. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Hey.
And I think, guys, I mean, we put it off. The episode in the bucket, man. Like we hit the 10 o'clock.
Well done.
Dick. Good night. That's it.
Good night, everybody. Be amazing. Continue to be amazing.
Thank y'all, bro. Have a nice evening, everyone.
Be good. Oh wait, I'm the host, so I'm the one who has to end it.
Okay. As long as you hit the red button, that's good.
Are you guys ready to end?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Let's make it classy. Here we go. I see y'all.
Okay. See you later.